Hi, I'm Madhavan, and I am a vegetarian. When you see what goes on inside slaughterhouses, I think you'll lose your appetite for animal flesh too. Animals feel pain just as people do. They value their lives just as we value ours. They're terrified by sights and smells of the slaughterhouses and they fight for every last breath. If you eat animals, you should know what happens to chickens, pigs, cows, sheep, fish, and other animals used for food. Please give me a few moments to show you the routine cruelty involved in raising, transporting, and killing these animals. Chickens are the most abused animals on the planet. Those raised for their flesh are packed in filthy sheds, often with thousands of other birds. Fumes from their accumulated waste burn their throats and eyes. Most birds lose their feathers and develop blistering, ulcerated feet and other ailments. They are pushed to grow such unnaturally large upper bodies so fast that their legs often become crippled under their own weight. Peta India has exposed shocking cruelty to chickens, including live scalding, starvation, and mutilation of birds. On egg farms, hens spend their entire lives crammed into wire cages so small that they can't even spread a single wing. Since they can't use them, their muscles waste away and their bodies deteriorate. Standing on the wire, their feet become lacerated. The ends of their sensitive beaks are cut off with a hot blade, causing them chronic pain. Some birds starve to death when eating becomes too painful. They never even see their chicks. At the end of their miserable lives, chickens are grabbed by their frail legs and wings, often causing broken bones. Many chickens are transported to shops where they are tied together upside down by their legs and then crammed into cages. The terrified birds have their throats slit with blunt knives and often put in a drum full of scalding water whilst they are still conscious. Like chickens, pigs are friendly, inquisitive animals who love their family members. They often snuggle close together and sleep nose to nose. Newborn piglets learn to run to their mother's voices, and pigs often sing to them while nursing. Pigs raised for pork are often confined to small, filthy concrete pens. They are slaughtered nearby, often in front of other pigs. They are repeatedly and haphazardly stabbed in their heart and they scream out in pain. Cows have long-term memories and complex problem-solving skills. Cows and buffaloes are gentle animals who grieve when separated from their loved ones. Female cows and buffalo produce milk for their offsprings, not for humans. But in today's tabelas, animal factories that are steadily replacing family farms, cows and buffaloes are treated like mere milk machines. PETA India's investigators have seen cows and buffaloes confined to stalls in which they are forced to stand knee-deep in excrement. Cows and buffaloes are artificially inseminated using unsanitary equipment, exposing animals to infections and disease. They're often injected with an illegal drug that causes them to produce excessive quantities of milk and suffer severe stomach cramps. Calves are taken from their mothers shortly after birth. They are tethered on short ropes in order to prevent them from reaching their mothers. They often become entangled and strangled to death as they struggle to break free. When the mothers can no longer produce milk, they too are sent to slaughterhouses, often to be turned into leather. Many cows are forced to walk long distances to the slaughterhouses without food or water. When they collapse from exhaustion, illness, or injury, handlers rub chili powder into their eyes and break the joints in their tails to make them move. Others are crammed into lorries in such large numbers that many animals are crushed or gouged by the horns of other animals en route to the slaughterhouse. Animals who survive the long journeys are usually dragged or pushed into slaughterhouses where they're cut open, often with blunt knives, on floors that are covered with feces, blood, guts, and urine, in front of their companions. Goats and sheep, sensitive animals who wag their tails, affectionately nuzzle people and worry when they are separated from their social groups, are often grabbed by their fur or wool and thrown or sometimes pulled by their ears into extremely crowded lorries. Those who do survive this ordeal are typically killed in front of other terrified animals at slaughterhouses. Workers often use such dull knives that the animals endure prolonged agony before they lose consciousness. Fish too are intelligent and have fascinating traits. Dr. Sylvia Earle, one of the world's leading marine biologists, says, "I wouldn't deliberately eat a grouper any more than I would eat a cocker spaniel. They are so good-natured and so curious." You know, fish are so sensitive, they have personalities. They hurt when they're wounded. And yet, fish are killed by the billions in ways that would be illegal were they any other species. Dolphins, whales, turtles, birds, and non-target fish, what the fishing industry calls bycatch, are routinely snared by the hooks and entangled in the nets, their lifeless bodies dumped back in the ocean. Fish farms are cruel to animals and harmful to the environment. Farmed fish are often forced to swim in their own waste in congested, toxic cesspools. Conditions on some farms are so horrendous that 40% of the fish die before farmers are ready to kill and package them as food. It can take up to 2.5 kilograms of wild fish to produce just 400 grams of farmed fish. Fish markets flout basic norms of hygiene, and endangered species such as sharks and dolphins are often sold openly. Meat, eggs, and dairy products are riddled with fat, cholesterol, and they're often tainted with Campylobacter, Salmonella, and other harmful bacteria. Eating animals put you at risk for diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and other health problems. And factory farms are responsible for outbreaks of bird flu, swine flu, SARS, and other animal-borne diseases. The United Nations report concluded that a global shift towards a vegetarian diet is necessary to combat climate change, water shortages, forest destruction, pollution, and world hunger. Going vegetarian is the best thing you can do to help animals, people, and the planet. For me, being vegetarian is all about being compassionate. I love animals, so I would never eat them. I hope you'll also make that compassionate choice and go vegetarian. And please, share this with your friends. Thank you.